Welcome back to Cleveland Browns Daily, live from the Scouting Combine in Indianapolis. And Cleveland Browns Daily, of course, brought to you by Ballybet, coming soon to Ohio. And this is a real treat for me, somebody that I look up to certainly as a mentor and an idol in the commentary business, and also somebody who will be a huge part of NFL Network's coverage here of the Combine all weekend long. You still got a long way to go. You're just getting started, but the great Charles Davis joins us now. How are you, CD? It's great to see you.
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. It's always great to sit with you, and congratulations on finishing your first year in the booth. And
Thank you.
Having a good time, and you know, I appreciate your very, very kind words, but we're going to have to set your sights a little bit higher. We got to jump you up, get you to somebody really, really good. We'll do that from now on.
That is you. And I appreciate your humility, but you listen. You helped me so much when just kind of talking about the process, the preparation, and you hooked me up with a guy to get my boards done right and all of that. And it was fun and getting to our relationship over the last few years. Getting to help you out with some Browns games.
You helped me in a big way. You know that, because being able to go and get ready for a game, no one knows a team better than the people who are around the team, right? Who are embedded in a sense. And I hope I've been doing it the right way. My goal is always, when I talk with you or anyone else who's around team as I'm preparing for a game, I'm not asking for the secrets. I'm not asking for you to violate any confidences because you are with that team. All I want to know is, who do we think is going to play on Sunday?
That's right. Yeah. Who do you need on the board?
Who will be on the board on Sunday so I can be prepared for that? Because it's just the way things have changed since COVID for all of us, right? And I like it, the way the league has changed how a team is. It used to be so restrictive, didn't it, about how many guys could. I just love the fact that we have more people available. I'd love to see the rosters expanded, but I know the owners are like, the owners are like, it's not your money, dude.
That's ours. Exactly.
No one asked you.
Exactly.
All I'm saying is, who do I think will be on the field on Sunday so I can prepare and do the best job I can for that team, for that person, our team doing coverage, and I appreciate your help.
Well, listen, we didn't get to cross paths this year, but one of the best tips that Jim
Donovan,
right? I know, very strange, that our play-by-play guy gave me was watch the TV copy of the opponent from the week before, or even the prior 2 weeks, so you get to hear what they had told those commentators, and you can pick up some nuggets along the way. So I got to listen to you a lot because you called our opponents the week before many, many times this year.
How wild is that?
Yeah, but I didn't get to see it. But maybe this year we will get to see each other.
I certainly hope so. I look forward to it. And the other part is what we gain from local knowledge. National doesn't if we gain it there, when we're saying it, it's fresh for another set of another audience, because if you're not locked in on being a Browns fan, or if we're doing any whoever your team is, you're gonna hear what you hear. You're like, God, and of course we all know that, but everyone else listening may not know that information. So we try and glean as much as we can too.
So I'm with the Browns. Every game's a Browns game. My audience are Browns fans, period.
Yeah.
And you kind of brought that up there, but what I appreciate about what you're able to do when you listen to a game is that there are a lot of times when national guys will do games, and it's clear they don't know how to pronounce anybody's name. They don't know. It would be as if they dropped somebody in to call the game. But you make it feel like almost that you've worked with the Browns. Or I listened to, you had a few Steelers, and you had Steelers Patriots, I think, earlier this year.
We did.
But you made it sound like you worked for the Steelers and the Patriots, which I think that eliminates the one big gripe about the way that the system is set up right now, right? Yeah. And so that I think is one of the traits.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and it's something I work at. I know I'm not 100%, but we try our best to get it right. And I think that all of us who are in the business, if you've ever encountered a family member when you've mispronounced their loved one's name, you don't want
you don't want that.
You don't want that anymore. Plus, it's just straight respect for
right.
that person. You're trying your best. And when I do get it wrong, I feel horrible, and I want to get it right the next time. And I think if you do it with effort, if you try your best and they know you're trying your best, like Alberto, the tight end in Denver.
Just stick with that.
I've heard his name pronounced I don't know how many different ways, and every time we're asking. So last I've gotten was Okwe Bunam, and then the next is someone, no, it's okay, Bunam, okay, Bunam, and so you're trying your best to get it, and hopefully I can get to him and say, okay, can you give it to me, and hopefully I have it. But for Indianapolis, Bobby Okereke this year,
right? It wasn't Okereke.
That's his third.
Before. Yeah.
That's his third. And when I see Bobby, I'm going to say, dude, that's the third pronunciation we've had on you. Because it was Okereke.
Right, it was Okereke, right.
And then before that, it was I remember saying to Ian Eagle, my partner, I said, "Isn't this like the third?" He goes, "I believe this is the third." But whatever you want to be called, we want to just try and do it the right way.
We've had guys who have changed, and I do our pronunciation guide. I'm the audio of our own pronunciation guide, and we've had guys who have changed it.
In the middle of the season?
Yeah. Tyrod, Torod, Njoku, Najoku.
I just want to know,
Yeah.
and I want to try and do it the way that you want.
Sometimes I just stick with the chief.
And let me tell you,
we're good.
this is how old I am. Tony Dorsett, the great running back,
Yeah.
prior to his senior year at Pittsburgh, it was Tony Dorsett.
Dorsett does have a little more panache.
And then Dorsett with the punching the Dorsett. And I played for his college coach, Johnny Majors. He coached Tony, and, Tony, that was his baby now, okay?
Yeah.
That was his all-time favorite.
Sure.
To the day Coach Majors died, he called him Dorsett because he never had that Dorsett.
Yeah.
If you go back to New Jersey, where Joe Theismann's family is from, and you ask for the Theismann family, someone will say, "You mean the Theismanns?" Because it was Theismann, and then his SID at Notre Dame, Roger Valdesari, the great sports information director, said, "We're going to change it to Theismann because it rhymes with Heisman." And they were trying to give him the Heisman Trophy, and he became Joe Theismann and never looked back.
That's unbelievable.
Isn't that great?
See, these are the great.
You go back to that home area, they're going, "Can I see the Theismanns?" You mean the Theismanns? Because that's the proper pronunciation. So we try, and as I said, Ian is a master. I mean, he nails it. Evan Washburn, my partner on the team, he nails it. I'm trying my best to get into their category.
You're doing just fine. Just one thing for all the people listening, what would be the number one piece of advice you'd give somebody who wanted to get into the booth and call games?
I can only do it from my perspective because I was fortunate enough to have played college football. I didn't make it in the NFL, so I was one of those, like, this is like me doing NFL games is like an alien dropped out of the sky. This isn't supposed to happen. And prior to Kirk Herbstreit doing Amazon this year, if you take away what I call the super specials, Dennis Miller, right? When Rush Limbaugh did, but he didn't do it in the booth. It was Dennis Miller, and who else came in? Tony Kornheiser, guys like that. I call them the super specials because they are true outliers. I was the only one doing NFL games that hadn't played in the NFL, hadn't been an executive, hadn't been a coach. Then Kirk came along this year and joined me in that. And I remember going to my first game. I was nervous as heck. It was Carolina, Philadelphia. And I kind of mentioned to Coach Andy Reid as I coach, I ain't playing the league. I ain't coaching the league. How am I going to be received? And he looked me dead in the eye and he goes, "If you know what you're talking about, you'll be fine. If you don't know what you're talking about, you'll hear about it." And that was it. That was it. And so hopefully people think that I am. So you asked my question, know what you're talking about. And what I mean by that is know the history of your sport, know how what you're doing fits into that history of the sport, recent history, long history, all of those things. Know the rule book as much as possible because most games that we do, you're not going to have a
Gene
Steratore that you can rely on. And fans, as I've discovered, if they don't think you know the rule book, they come for you because you're supposed to know that. So my goal is, and Gene knows this, and when I was at the place out west before that, I would tell Mike Prairie and Dean Blandino, my goal is for you to confirm what I say. That's my goal.
Right.
I'm not going to always get it, but I don't want to be, hey, we're going to find out what the rule is. Why am I here?
Sure.
Okay? So know the rules on all that. Know the players, just what you talked about before, players' names, know the backgrounds, know all of that. And I will leave them with this. Have the passion that you're not going to be stopped. Because if you have that, you have a chance. If you don't have the passion about that, then you have no chance because there's a lot of us diving in all the time. Who wants it? Who will work hard enough at their craft? Who will hone their craft? Who will think about it morning, noon, and night? Who will do the research? Who will do the path? All of those things have to go into it, but you've got to want it. Period. Right?
No doubt.
And
especially when you're an outlier.
When
you're an outlier.
And
I'm a bigger.
Outlier.
No, I'm a bigger.
But that's what we want
out
out of the whole
absolutely.
thing. And the last thing I would say is, when you're going through all that process and you're doing all those things, what are your relationships with people?
That's what it's all about.
That's what it all comes down to, because the people who are doing all this for us now, who set up all this, who are filming us right now, who are doing all those things, those are our teammates. They are not anything else. They are your colleagues.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm always flabbergasted when I see people that don't do that.
You got to love the people you're with, right? Because relationships in every aspect of it, in terms of you want to never stop learning, right, about the game.
Never stop
you need
learning.
Relationships with coaches, players, all that.
Everyone.
It takes, as you mentioned,
it's a big relationship.
I could never be on the air without Gibbe.
See, but you know that, and that is wonderful. And it probably blows you away when you run into people in our business, and you're like, they're doing what with the people that they work with?
It requires no effort to be nice.
No effort, and we try our best. That's all we can do.
That's right.
Hopefully you won't catch me on that bad day when you go, he's such a jerk, that Davis.
That day has not come.
You know?
You always have a smile on your face and in your voice, and that's why it's a pleasure. Let's talk about something really important now.
You got it.
Yellowstone series. Yellowstone 1923.
1883.
What's your ranking of the 3 shows?
Well, Yellowstone's the heart because that's where it all began for me. But I really enjoyed 1883 because of the different perspective, the beauty and the grandeur of what we were showing. Because remember, that was America somewhat unspoiled at that time,
that's right?
So we didn't have urban sprawl at that time. So that was amazing. And I remember thinking to myself, my God, they're still losing lives in the whole thing, like the regular Yellowstone. And I thought, why wouldn't they? 1883 is a lot more brutal time to live than now. And then the 1923 has started, and it's Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren.
I mean, I'm loving it.
I am just like, this is incredible. And I did see where the star, and I wish I knew her name. I hate it. The Native American woman who's in that brutal school, and
unbelievable. She
was saying that there'd been some criticism about how brutal the conditions and she's like, this is real.
Real.
And by the way, maybe people should be reminded of what my people went through.
Yeah.
And I thought that was one of the greatest answers. It's tough to watch, but it reminds me of us as people as we continue to evolve. Oh, yeah, we all count. Okay? Let's make sure we do it and treat each other the right way. But I just love the shows. Taylor Sheridan, he keeps getting people. And then all of his other offshoots. Tulsa King with Sly Stallone, right?
I haven't watched it, but I heard it's great.
With Jeremy Renner. Wow.
Yeah.
And people are signing up wanting to be a part of these franchises. I mean, when you get Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford, when you get Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, Kevin Costner headlining, you're doing something right.
So I'm a big Spencer fan. And I learned to never challenge a professional game hunter to a duel on a boat.
Right?
Don't do it.
Bad
idea.
It's a really bad idea.
Especially when you've been beaten 3 times and he's like, look, I'm not going to kill you unless you force me to do it.
But if that's what it's going to be.
Go take a flag. Go soar.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So there I am. I'm lucky enough to work with CBS. Paramount is our parent company. And please, someone, hear this. Hear this.
I can see a role for you.
I want to at least go out and see how it's done. That's all I'm asking. I'm a huge fan. Just want to go see how it's done.
You get a great cameo for you.
And if somehow I wander into a camera shot or two, who am I to complain?
Certainly.
Although once I do it, they'll probably ban me from the set.
I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled for that now.
when I wandered through that second time, get him out of here.
He's done. He's done. All right. What do you like so much about the Combine, and what are you focused on this week?
I'm just what I like about it is it's a reunion for all of us. And when we had COVID and we couldn't see each other, couldn't be around each other, couldn't touch each other, it was hard.
Yeah.
Because we talk about relationships. We all have relationships all around this league. And we're forming new relationships with these youngsters coming in because who knows who's going to come to the Browns, who knows who's going to go to the Eagles. All those things kick in. So we're starting that process one more time when we're doing it. Plus we're greeting old friends again. That part is wonderful. The other part is I love seeing who emerges out of here that maybe we haven't talked about as much. And what was interesting is Isaiah Pacheco with Kansas City, the running back, had such a great year for them and was so pivotal in what they did and was wonderful in the Super Bowl. He blew away the Combine, yet still went in the 7th round. So you just don't know. I'm not one of those that like, oh, God, I want every great story to be the underdog rising. I like seeing the people who are the top of the food chain confirm their greatness.
Look like it. Right.
I like seeing Aiden Hutchinson last year be the number 2 pick overall and be really good his rookie year. I like seeing Trayvon Walker be a good player at the top of the board. Wasn't as good as Hutchinson, was good as Sauce Gardner, but he was no bust.
Right.
So I don't mind that. I love seeing that. I don't like to see people fail. I mean, I want all of them to be
thrive on
successful.
positivity.
But we know that's not going to happen for everyone.
Of course.
We know that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just see no reason to be like, well, I hope this guy busts and this is terrible. No, I want them all to have their opportunity, and then the best are going to make it, whether they're 7th rounder, an undrafted free agent, or that first rounder confirming that he was great. Because Sauce Gardner was pretty good. But Tariq Woolen, the second best corner, is a rookie last year. He went in the 5th round at the University of Texas San Antonio. There's stories
With a
everywhere.
very unique size-speed combination.
A former receiver, they flipped over to corner.
Yeah, he was
and
pretty
I
good.
think you and I have talked about it. My thing right now is the receivers are getting taller again. They're longer, more angular. They can run. If you are the 3rd receiver on your team catching 15 balls a year, get over on the other side of the field and learn how to backpedal because you might be the first corner.
Right. You have a
Changes.
chance like that. Yeah, we got a big guy in our secondary last year, MJ Emerson, who had a very nice rookie season. We're excited about him.
You flip him over and turn it. Woolen was
Smart.
a receiver, flipped at the end of his career at UTSA, and hasn't looked back.
And the good news about it for them, the money's just as good.
The money's real good.
Yeah, might be
because
just as good as a
name of the game is
throwing it and
throwing
stopping
it and catching it,
Yeah.
right? You know, what was the old Bear Bryant? Protect Arn, rush there.
That's right.
Protect Arn, rush there.
I love that. All right, leave you with this one. Just a couple Browns things. Number one, full offseason with Deshaun Watson. Obviously, at those 6 games. What are you kind of expecting for the Browns? And then is there anybody, as you kind of look through this combine, maybe at receiver, maybe at the edge, that you'd like to see wearing the brown and orange next year?
Yeah, look, so many different opportunities, so many different options. I mean, Deshaun Watson, Clemson guy, doesn't have to match up that way. But these Ohio State receivers, they just keep pouring them out. And it'll be interesting to see how people look at Jackson Smith and Jigba because
he should go early, I think.
You should think so. He's the best route runner, I think, probably out of the receivers in the draft. But that stopwatch is going to be interesting, and I'm wondering when he's going to run his 40 because he's coming off the hamstring. The last thing you want to do is pop another hammy. Is he going to run it? Is he not going to run it? Are we just going to have to take it off of tape? I don't think he is a flyer taking it off the top, but I throw it to him every time I could because
he's going to be open.
Going to make some plays, right? Jordan Addison is a slot guy from USC. I think he's a terrific player, not super big and stout or anything like that. But, we have them all through. And I think for anyone who thought last year Deshaun Watson would come back from everything he's come back from in terms of not playing,
700 days.
Then we have this, then we have that he's just going to be the Deshaun Watson that they signed, that was folly. Now he has a chance to do everything. Plus, the story has been told. We don't have to keep rehashing it. It's done. The case. Yeah, I assume the cases are over all that.
Yes.
He's got his offseason now. He's got his OTAs. He's got his mini camp. Chance to get with all his people. He should look closer to the Deshaun Watson that Cleveland signed and wanted and expected. And, however people want to look at it, view it, guess what? We're talking about football right now. We're talking about him coming back. This is his chance to get back to being a football player.
And an elite one.
And that's why he was signed.
Yeah.
And by the way, it wasn't just Cleveland who wanted to sign him.
That's right. That's right. And listen, if we get back there, we're going to get a lot more games with you. So
yeah,
I'm
we're
all
looking
for
forward to that. We like coming to Cleveland.
Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you for the time.
All right,
Great
man.
to see you as always.
Great.